I'm back.
Do you want something to drink?
Does your company's website work for you? Is it helping attract new clients and improving your brand awareness? If not, or you don't know, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies. With expert web developers, they build amazing web experiences that help their clients perform better. Contact Omni at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Under mostly cloudy skies with a few pinks of sunshine, temperatures rise to near 33 degrees for your daytime high. A rather cold overnight with lows down to about 14 under partly cloudy conditions. A little more sunshine around for your Thursday. Temperatures returning to the low 40s for daytime highs. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Hello, old friends.
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I want to make a carrot cake.
You couldn't have picked a better date.
What is that?
Today is National Carrot Cake Day.
Carrot cake.
Carrot cake. Carrot cake.
Oh, don't tell me what's in it. The diet starts tomorrow.
My diet starts tomorrow.
Carrot cake. Is it a dessert or a vegetable?
Does anybody have the time? It's showtime.
Your morning news, weather, and sports wrapped into his own unique perspective. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard in the producer's chair. Brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
I don't know that I've ever tried carrot cake. Have you?
Oh, I like carrot cake.
Oh, do you? Okay. All right. I'm not sure that I've ever tried carrot cake.
Oh, it's good.
It's not something. It's a vegetable. Carrot's a vegetable, right? That doesn't sound like something I'd like.
It's good stuff.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, Grandma makes it.
Maybe I'll give it a try at some point. Then I don't know. Have to see. We had a great meal last night, Biff. Didn't order out. Had it at home. You'll appreciate this, I know. Absolute total comfort food. Grilled ham and cheese sandwich and tomato soup.
That does sound good.
I mean, that was just about as good a meal as I've had in a long time. You know, we've ordered from all the different restaurants and fancy ones and not so fancy ones, and my wife has cooked a lot here. But I think that was the best meal I've had in a long time. Just tomato soup. It was so good. I mean, yes, it was just a can of tomato soup and grilled ham and cheese. It was a great meal last night. 8:11 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Let's see. Coming up today on the show, a few more things to get into on COVID. West Virginia is in the spotlight at a congressional hearing yesterday. Senator Manchin says he'll agree to budget reconciliation, which is the way to get this COVID relief bill passed with only Democrat votes. But he has some reservations about some of Biden's proposals. Significantly less than half of nursing home staff nationwide have agreed to take the vaccine. These according to new CDC numbers. Next, our media is holding a town hall on COVID tonight. Governor Justice, among others, will be on hand for that. The chief political correspondent, our old friend Mark Curtis, is coming in today to talk to us about COVID in West Virginia in general and the town hall meeting tonight. Wheeling Council starts the process for a temporary B&O waiver for small businesses. And here's a request from the police chief for more officers. A Wheeling attorney, along with the FOP out of northern West Virginia, is raising issues over Morgantown's Citizens Police Review Board and a concussion lawsuit against the NFL that I first heard about an hour ago, and we talked about last hour, is to me very troubling. Plus the cost of Valentine's Day, and we were talking about Super Bowl prop bets, and we were right in the midst of that before I realized I was out of time last hour. If I just want to finish up what I was talking about and some of the bizarre prop bets that are out there that you can find online to bet on if you want to. The weekend is going to be the featured halftime entertainment, but there usually are some surprise guests. No surprise guests yet confirmed. So who do you think may be the surprise guests with the weekend? Half of these I don't even know. Enemies I don't even know.
I'll see if I can help you out.
Well, the first one I get, the odds-on favorite for being a special guest with the weekend, Ariana Grande. I know of her. Okay.
Yeah.
Got that one.
Okay.
I got that one. That's the number one choice. Number two is Doja Cat. Doja Cat? Ring a bell?
Not to me.
Not me either. I mean, I'm sorry. I know I'm not the most hip cat. You don't say hip cats anymore, do we? The fact that I just said hip cat tells you I'm not a hip cat. Doja Cat comes in at number 2. Drake at number 3. Hey, I know this one, Kenny G. Kenny G is number 4.
What? Drake? Yeah, I've heard of Drake.
I've heard of Drake too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got Drake.
Kenny G. I mean, I like Kenny G. That's the one. And Ariana Grande too. I like both of those. But jeez,
don't confuse Kenny G with Donnie G.
No. We don't want to do that for sure. No. Although, Dance with Donnie G tomorrow here on the Watchdog. Tomorrow at noon. Don't forget about that. Dance with Donnie G. And what's coming up tomorrow, since you mentioned it? Let's see. Former Wheeling Park and Pitt Star running back Rico Cox will be on with Donnie tomorrow. WV long snapper Kyle Poland will be on. He's ranked number 3 in the upcoming NFL draft at his position. Donnie says, we'll have him snap the ball on Facebook Live.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Sean Ryan will be in to talk about the Super Bowl and a few other things as well. Dancing with Dr. G, the Donnie Gilbert Radio Show, every Friday, noon to 2 on WVLY, AM 1370, FM 98.1, and, of course, on your TuneIn radio app. So that's that's Donnie G. But Kenny G may be a performer with the weekend, maybe, at the Super Bowl. We'll have to see. Let's see.
Is that all they have?
Bet. Will the game be tied at any point?
Yeah, when they kick off.
Well, it's a guarantee, isn't it? It's a 100% guarantee the game will be tied when they kick off. That's a great point.
I think at some point it will be. I do.
62.3% are suggesting, according to the online betting numbers at the moment, 62.3% are choosing yes. The same as you, Biffy. Let's see. And this one is not so much the Super Bowl, but the ever-popular Puppy Bowl. Who will win the Puppy Bowl? Let me ask, first of all, who the hell's in the Puppy Bowl? And maybe one more question. Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. But the correct answer, that's not a correct answer. At the moment, the betting line is on Team Fluff. Okay.
Does it say who Team Fluff is playing?
No. No, I'm sorry. Team Fluff is at even odds, 50%. Team Rough has the edge. Team Rough has the edge at 58.3%. Team Rough over Team Fluff.
So we've got Rough and Fluff.
In the Puppy Bowl.
Rough and Fluff.
I don't know. And will the MVP be a male or female? We are, of course, still talking about the Puppy Bowl here. Still talking about the Puppy Bowl. Will the MVP be a male or female? Most think it'll be a male.
And, of course,
okay.
the two favorite bets that I think a lot of people like to make, the coin toss and the length of the national anthem.
Who's doing the national anthem this year? I should know that, and I don't.
I don't know either. I'll have to look.
And I should know that. That's information I should have at my fingertips, and I do not. My favorite one of these prop bets that we just ran through, though, is which coach's nostrils will be seen first. So you can make prop bets. I don't know if our friends at FanDuel have any of those particular prop bets up or not, but you can bet the prop bet. There are prop bets for you to bet on FanDuel, as well as the actual
It is.
Game.
It is a duet this year. It will be performed by Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church.
Okay. Any idea who they are? I don't.
Eric Church, I believe, is a real big country singer, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Jasmine Sullivan, apparently, she was a Grammy-nominated artist. So, yeah.
I don't know him, but apparently somebody
I
does.
know. I have heard of Eric Church.
They're singing the Super Bowl.
I have heard of Eric Church, so.
I would think a duet is dangerous for the Star Spangled Banner. You know, it's tough enough, I think, for even a trained performer to sing the Star Spangled Banner out there in the middle of the stadium and the sound echoing back and forth. And, you know, one little mistake, and we know, look, we all pick over these mistakes, right? I mean, when they miss a note or something. Then you gotta have two people singing together. I don't know. Then you gotta trust somebody else to not make you look bad. So I may pay more attention to that just to see if there's any screw ups. And maybe that could be a prop bet. Will there be a screw up on the national anthem? I don't know. All right, just some fun stuff. I didn't get a chance to get all of those in before the break, and I wanted to do that. I also didn't get a chance to get the COVID conversation I wanted to get in, so I want to do that coming up next, a couple of more COVID stories. Mark Curtis is going to join us in a little bit to talk about COVID in West Virginia and also talk about the town hall meeting tonight. And again, our phone line is open at 304-214-1600. If you want to use it for the text line, feel free to text me, and I'll check the text line here in a minute and see what you got to say. Also, thank you for watching on Facebook Live video. We are on our Facebook page, the Watchdogs Facebook page, my own personal Facebook page. You can watch us there every day on Facebook Live. If you're watching on Facebook Live, I ask you to do two things. Will you push the like button? Like it. I hope that you like it. Otherwise, why would you be watching it? Push the like button, or even if you want to show great love, you can hit the heart button and show how much you heart this show. And then more importantly, or as importantly, hit the share button. Share the joy with the people on your timeline. So like it and share it if you are watching us on our Facebook Live video feed. You can catch the whole show video cast in retrospect on Facebook page after the show, also on our YouTube channel if you'd like to. 8:21 after the hour. Temperature has dropped a smidgen, 23 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place.
We'd like to help.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Under mostly cloudy skies with a few pinks of sunshine, temperatures rise to near 33 degrees for your daytime high. A rather cold overnight with lows down to about 14 under partly cloudy conditions. A little more sunshine around for your Thursday. Temperatures returning to the low 40s for daytime highs. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
You can now watch the Legislative Watchdogs every Wednesday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. Talk radio taken to the next level. Only on the Watchdog. Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-TALK.
It's your turn to talk. From politics to pet peeves. Get it off your chest and on the air. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
23 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. A little bit of wind out there making it feel like 12. It's a cold morning. 23 feels like 12. 23 at the airport. 23 at my home studios. 23 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling. In the heart of the Ohio Valley, text line is open, 304-214-1600. Talking about prop bets, someone sends a text, Biffy, to you. You always get these texts. Biff, another popular prop bet is Super Bowl MVP. Yes, that certainly is always a popular one. We looked at the Puppy Bowl MVP, but not at the Super Bowl MVP. Any thoughts on that?
Other than the obvious, Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City, Tom Brady from Tampa Bay. If you want to stick with Kansas City, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Tampa Bay. You could probably go Mike Evans and Gronk. Would be just some of the few I could think of right now. I'm sure there's a couple on each side that I'm either forgetting or that haven't named yet, but I think that would be a good 5 or 6 to start with and then go from there.
And it's hard to, MVP will really depend on how the game is played, who wins the game, who makes a spectacular plays or something. That's a hard one to even give some thought to ahead of time. It's easy to suggest it'll be either Brady or Mahomes depending on who wins the game, right? I mean, that's probably an easy bet, if you will, but there could be some spectacular work by somebody else that would put them in the MVP position. So I don't know I don't have a look at how the prop bets are going on that. Also, we were talking about COVID earlier, and I was talking about we're in West Virginia right now. They're basically still doing it almost exclusively by age group, or in some cases by jobs. I mean, higher education had some extra vaccines this week, teachers getting vaccines. But to a larger extent, it's those who are 80 plus, 70 plus, then 65 plus. And I know that at one point they were talking about also looking at your medical conditions, those who have compromised medical conditions, whose immune system might be in danger, would get some extra priority. We really haven't done that in the state. They're really strictly looking. We talked both with Mark Ackerman from Marshall County last week and Howard Gamble from Ohio County. Both seem to say that at the moment it's just become too complicated to add that factor in. We're really just looking at at age. But someone does send me a text saying, Howard, when you're on the website, the statewide website, to register to get on the list for your COVID-19 vaccine, there is an option to enter your medical conditions. Yeah, they do actually ask your medical conditions, some basic medical information there. I don't know that that's playing at this stage of the game yet into who's going to be called up next for the vaccine. I think that it's still just basically looking at age. And again, to some extent, an occupation, healthcare workers, first responders, and so on. I think that's primarily what they're looking at. Speaking of that, I want to see if I can find something here real fast in my stack of stuff. I can do this from memory a little bit, but I don't have the whole thing here. I don't have it in front of me, but I can tell you this. CDC came out with some numbers yesterday, Biff. And I find it amazing to me. Nursing home staff. Now, this is staff, not nursing home clients, but staff. Nursing home residents and those who work at nursing homes are among the first in line to get the coronavirus vaccine. We have done a huge amount of that in West Virginia. But new data came out from the CDC yesterday. Nursing home staff members, only 38% accepted the vaccine when offered to them. Significantly less than half. I don't get this. I know that locally, many healthcare workers have chosen not to take the vaccine. I don't get it. If you're in a position where you're around people who are going to have COVID-19, nursing home staff, where nursing homes can become a real hotbed of COVID, or medical folks in a hospital setting or so on, I can't understand why large numbers would not have the vaccine. Nursing home residents are getting the vaccine. 78% of the nursing home residents across the country are taking the vaccine and have already received at least one shot, pretty much the case in West Virginia as well. But 38% of nursing home staff members, only 38% across the country, accepted the vaccine when it was offered to them. I don't get that, Biff. I truly do not understand that at all.
I don't get it either, and again, I'm just waiting patiently for when they say it's my turn and give it to me. I'm ready.
Right. I just, when I was, I tried like other people did to get on the vaccine list a couple weeks ago. We managed to get through, and I did get my first shot. Waiting for the second one. I want it badly, and so do many people. So what is it about nursing home staff or medical staff for that? Again, some of the numbers I've heard about some of the medical staff are just staggering to me. Medical staff that are not taking the vaccine. Why would you not? I don't know. Joe Manchin, Senator Manchin, has been raising some concerns about the COVID relief bill, the $1.9 million stimulus proposal from the Democrats and from President Biden. And some of the specific concerns that Senator Manchin had been raising were, he said on this show several times, and I agree with him, that not everybody should get the $2,000 payment, that those folks who are making significant amounts of money don't need $2,000. The money should be targeted to those who are suffering because of COVID, one way or another, lost their jobs or are fighting medical issues and so on. I agree with the senator. I don't see any reason why somebody pulling down $300,000 a year should get an extra $2,000 just because. So Senator Manchin has that one concern. He also is concerned that the $15 minimum wage federal minimum wage is wrapped up in this bill as well. However, yesterday, Senator Manchin did say he would agree to use what they call budget reconciliation. Normally, you need 60 plus votes to pass a bill in Congress because of the filibuster. Of course, the Democrats only have 50 votes plus Kamala Harris if all Democrats stay together. But there is a process called budget reconciliation which only requires 50%, 50 plus 1. So Senator Manchin yesterday said he would agree to the budget reconciliation process. Now, what I haven't quite figured out, let me read you what he said. I will move forward the budget process because we must address the urgency of the COVID-19 crisis. That means that he will agree to the budget reconciliation, which only requires Democrats to approve. But let me be clear, this is a quote from Manchin, let me be clear, and these are words I share with President Biden, our focus must be targeted on the COVID-19 crisis and Americans who have been most impacted by this pandemic. I will only support proposals that get us through and end the pain of this pandemic. I can't quite figure out if he's suggesting that he would that he would vote for budget reconciliation, but only if that $2,000 was targeted. I can't quite tell that. Hoppy has Senator Manchin on coming up today on Statewide Talk Line, and I hope maybe that'll get cleared up a little bit, because that to me is a big issue. I agree with Senator Manchin on both of those, by the way. I don't think the minimum wage ought to be tied into this bill. I think raising the minimum wage is important, but I don't think a COVID relief bill is where it belongs. I also agree with Senator Manchin. I do not believe that everybody should get $2,000. By the way, I saw where this is what's happening. You know, the Republicans are fighting hard among themselves over people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and so on. Democrats are starting to rip themselves apart as well. I see some Democrats have been criticizing Joe Biden because he said we should have a $2,000 stimulus payment. We got $600 already, and so he says, well, we want to do another $1,400. People go, well, that's not $2,000. You said $2,000. Well, now you're only talking about $1,400. Well, no, I mean, he made it clear from the beginning. We would take, he called that $600 a down payment. So you get the $600, and then you add the $1,400, that's $2,000. Democrats are starting to rip themselves apart on this. It's crazy. COVID's going to be the big conversation of a town hall meeting in West Virginia tonight. The governor will be there, and the whole thing will be moderated by my friend Mark Curtis. And we will talk to Mark about that and more coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 8:36, 24 till the hour, looking at 23 degrees. Check some headlines for you from the Big Seven, and Tony's got the Mountaineer Report. Then Mark Curtis joins me here on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your...
Okie doke, thank you. Oh, yeah. 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 Well, you can tell a lot from a snowball pitch, you know? There's a lot of good stuff on those memes. Some of them are stupid, but a lot of them are kind of fun.
With 13 points, including 3 3-pointers. For the game, West Virginia is outshot by the Cyclones. Mountaineers shot 43%. Iowa State shot 44%, but it was the foul line that was the story. West Virginia outscored the Cyclones at the line by 10 points. 76-72, West Virginia wins it. Next up for the Mountaineers, the Kansas Jayhawks in the Coliseum on Saturday afternoon. That is today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Under mostly cloudy skies with a few pinks of sunshine, temperatures rise to near 33 degrees for your daytime high. A rather cold overnight with lows down to about 14 under partly cloudy conditions. A little more sunshine around for your Thursday. Temperatures returning to the low 40s for daytime highs. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
Hi, this is Shauna Johnson from Metro News, just one of the contributors to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Listen and stay informed every weekday right here.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
23 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. A little bit of wind blowing around makes it feel like 12. That feels like 12 degrees outside. 23 at the airport, 23 at my home studios here in Elm Grove, and 23 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. A feels like temperature right now of 12 degrees. An actual air temperature low tonight will be 15 degrees, which could, with some wind chill, put us clearly into the single digits. And then look ahead to later in the week, on Sunday into Monday and Monday into Tuesday. Sunday into Monday, we're looking for an actual overnight low of 2, an actual air temperature of dus, which means we will almost be guaranteed with feels like temperatures of below 0. Golly, I'm glad my furnace got fixed last week.
Talk about good timing.
Yeah, timing was good. It was bad enough. I think we were like at 30 or so during the couple of days we didn't have any heat in the house. And that was bad enough, but man, 2 degrees overnight. Phew. That'll be Sunday into Monday. And then Monday into Tuesday, it's 6 degrees. Tonight, 15, actual air temperature. We're talking a lot about COVID today and coronavirus and how West Virginia is doing and so on. And to help me flesh some of these stories out and to talk about a town hall meeting they have coming up tonight is our old friend from Nexstar Media, Chief Political Correspondent Mark Curtis. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Howard, from Charleston, where it's a sunny 23 degrees. And the temperature is dropping.
Yeah, it is here too. Yeah, exactly. It's winter. I guess we have to, expect that. But I'm glad I'm indoors.
I lived in Florida for 9 years. I promised myself I'd never live north of I-10 again. I broke that promise, obviously.
And look where you ended up.
I know. I love West Virginia, though. I love this place.
I actually we've talked this on the air before with our weather guy. I like the 4 seasons. I like having snow and cold. I love springtime. I love the extra heat in the summertime. I mean, that's very important to me. I would feel strange if I went to a place where it was warm almost all the time, or you didn't see snow or something. So I
agree.
like the 4 seasons.
And fall is my favorite season, absolutely.
Yeah, fall's a beautiful season, especially in West Virginia, by the way.
Yep.
Mark, COVID is certainly one of the big stories we're all following around the state. And the state is getting a lot of accolades for it. Congressional hearing yesterday, as a matter of fact, saw Clay Marsh and some of the other members of our team explaining why West Virginia's been doing so well in their COVID control. And as far as I could tell from all the coverage I saw, including yours, it looked like Congress was pretty impressed.
You know, it's fascinating. We've been on the front page of the New York Times. The governor was on Face the Nation. He was on News Nation, which is Nexstar Media's national newscast. He was on Squawk Box at CNBC. He's been on multiple other networks touting the same story, and it's the success story of getting the vaccines out there and into people's arms in West Virginia. And so it's surprisingly, it's not a surprise that a lot of other members of Congress from other states want to take note and want to know what we did right here.
You know, I think we have to accept that part of the reality is it's just we're a smaller state, makes it easier. But I have to give the governor a lot of credit, and or Clay Marsh and the rest of the COVID team he's got. They've really put together a very effective, first of all, testing and now vaccine program. It's been very effective, and they've figured out some ways to make it work better than other states have.
Well, and I was on another radio show the other day, and somebody asked me why West Virginia was so successful, and I said, first of all, I have to admit my bias because I have a daughter in the U.S. Army. I said the fact that the governor put General James Hoyer, the Adjutant General of the National Guard, in charge of this, because this is very much like a military operation. This is like declaring war, and you have to have a battle plan, and you have to have a strategy, and then you have to execute the battle plan, and then you have to look at mistakes you made and correct them. And it's very much, it takes that military sense of order and discipline to run an operation like this. And I think by and large, I mean, everybody else in the team has done a great job, Clay Marsh and Ian Amjad and Bill Crouch and the others. But I think the linchpin to the success in West Virginia is that the National Guard was put in charge. And I think the other part of it, and this is where, you know, I think if you compare how President Trump fared to how Governor Justice fared, Governor Justice has really listened to his experts and taken their advice to heart and said, you're the expert in this subject matter. If you tell me X, Y, and Z, then I'm going to do X, Y, and Z because you're the expert. Where at times you got the impression that the president, you know, thought, you know, as he often did, that he's the smartest guy in the room and his decisions were in some ways infallible. And I think that's where he got himself in trouble. I've written in my political column that
I think you're right. And I have a lot of criticism for Governor Justice over many different issues.
Yeah.
But I think in this, I think he's done a really good job with this.
Yeah, I think he has managed it quite well. I think the statistics.
Of course, the biggest issue we have though is simply getting more vaccine.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the biggest problem. We're getting vaccine into arms. We don't have enough vaccine.
I know, and that's the problem. And if you watched the congressional hearing yesterday, you heard from a multitude of members of Congress from various states, from West Virginia all the way to the West Coast, saying, yeah, it's going okay, but where's the vaccine? We need more. And that's the big problem right now, is producing it and getting it out there in the supply chain and getting it into people's arms. And, the governor announced the other day that, we're getting 3,700 additional doses from Moderna. Well, 3,700, really? That's not many. I mean, it's great to get any, but when you're talking about, I forget what the numbers are now. I think we vaccinated approximately 10% of this state. Well, there's still 1.65 million people out there that haven't been vaccinated, that including me, and I'd like to get it sooner or later too.
Yeah, and the governor has done a good job, for example, the governor and his team. I always want to stress that. The governor's team have done a good job putting together this vaccinate.wv.gov website as an efficient way to get registered, because there was so much frustration, and I'm sure you heard it. God knows I spent a week of nothing but people complaining because they couldn't get through to the local health departments and so on. So the website is great, and people are now registered and are waiting. But now the frustration is people are going, well, when am I getting my vaccine? I'm on the list. Well, getting on the list only can get you a vaccine when we have a vaccine, and we just plain don't have enough yet.
Yeah, it's like going to Disney World and getting a ticket to Magic Mountain only to find out there's 100,000 people in front of you in the line. It's great to have a ticket, but I want to get on the ride. So I think that's one of the questions we're going to answer tonight in our town hall meeting, and we should mention that the town hall meeting airs from 7 to 8 o'clock on all 6 Nexstar media stations that serve West Virginia, including WTRF 7 in Wheeling, and I think some of your listeners hear us on WBOY Channel 12 in Clarksburg. So it'll be a live town hall meeting from 7 to 8. The governor will be on. All of the above-mentioned key players on his task force will be on. And this is going to be good because we can do follow-up questions. We can probe a little deeper. I think that's been one of the frustrations of the press in the daily briefing. Each member of the press gets one question with no follow-up. Well, tonight we're going to be able to follow up and dig deeper and maybe get a clearer idea of when people are going to get the vaccine, because I think that's the number one question on everyone's mind is, when do I get my shots?
Well, what are some things that you, Mark Curtis, want to ask the governor when you sit down with him tonight in the town hall?
One of my favorite quotes of the governor lately is he's talking about, if you have the opportunity to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. You won't grow a third leg and you won't grow antlers. It's become his quote at every news conference. And a lot of that is because, look, there are myths out there. There are people saying, well, if you get the COVID vaccine, there's a chance you could catch COVID, which is not true. There are other, side effects. This is one of those times where social media has not been beneficial, I think, to the situation. There's been a lot of rumors and innuendo and things and falsehoods spread by social media about the vaccine and about the virus itself that can, frankly, confuse the public and scare the public. And I think, one of the things I'm hoping to tonight is talk to the experts, talk to Dr. Marsh and talk to Dr. Amjad about what the vaccine does and does not do and what are the side effects, if any, and are there any downsides to it. I've not heard of any big stories across the country of anyone dying from taking it, anyone getting COVID from taking it, anyone having other than a sore arm where the point of injection took place.
But I think, and I think hopefully you'll get this fleshed out tonight with the governor and the team. People need to be aware that just like any vaccine, you may have a reaction. Could be a sore arm. My oldest son, who works in healthcare, has gotten his 2 vaccines, and after his second one, he had a day of, lethargy and feeling poorly and so on.
Yeah.
But these are to be expected results, and I think it's important that people understand that. And again, hopefully you can flesh that out tonight in your town hall meeting. Is that you may get a little bit of reaction to it, but it's not anything that should scare you.
Yeah, I want to make that very clear that not everybody has the same. Some people have no reaction. And I talked to someone the other day that said after they got their second shot, they had a day of kind of flu-like symptoms where they just didn't feel, it sounds like what your son went through, and just didn't feel up to par, but after a day it passed. So, we don't want to dissuade people from knowing about the potential for side effects, but by and large, the side effects we're hearing about are relatively minor, if any.
At your town hall tonight, will you have a way during the show or before the show for any of our listeners to propose questions to you or that you could ask to the governor and others?
I'm glad you asked that because we're collecting a list, and I was up past midnight last night compiling the list of questions. You can go on any social media site, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of the popular social media sites, and type in the hashtag #VaccinateWestVirginia, hashtag #VaccinateWestVirginia, and enter a question, and it'll come into our system. There's no guarantee they're all going to get asked because, quite honestly, we have had hundreds, if not thousands, of questions emailed us. But we're going through as many as we can. We're trying to prioritize the ones that you see most often and the ones that seem most pertinent. So, yes, that's the way the audience gets to participate tonight. And I'm excited about that because so often, with the governor's briefings, and I realize the logistics. I'm not blaming the governor for the situation. He's got to protect himself and his staff and everybody at the Capitol. But the logistics of the press briefings have not always been very conducive to follow-up questions or really deep probing on issues. And I think think tonight we'll have an opportunity to do that, and especially viewers, because what happens, and I'm sure you get this too, you have listeners who email you questions or email questions to all of our television stations saying, hey, if you get a chance, can you ask the governor this today? It's amazing how many people have sent me questions over the past several months. It's in the hundreds, people wanting to know this and that, and so hopefully the audience participates that way tonight.
But I would bet, as you alluded to, I will bet you that the vast majority of the questions fall into, 6, 7 basic categories. There may be 1,000 people asking questions, but many of them are asking a variation of the same question. So hopefully you can get as many of those in as possible. Can I ask you one other question about? Sure. It's a COVID-related question, but it's not your town hall meeting. And I guess I should point out that begins at 7 o'clock tonight on WTRF and all the Nexstar media stations. 7 o'clock, am I right about that?
Correct. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock live, 1 hour. And it's also going to be streaming on all of our stations.
Now, I wanted to ask you one other question.
Sure.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, okay. I wanted to ask you another question. Maybe you have a better feel for this than I do. Senator Manchin yesterday said that he would accept budget reconciliation as a way to get to a COVID relief bill. But he also repeated that he has objections and concerns about some parts of the COVID relief bill. Is he saying he will vote for it if there is budget reconciliation? I was reading his statements this morning, and it just, I'm a little confused. Is he still going to argue for a smaller, not smaller, but for a more targeted relief, stimulus bill, stimulus checks? Is he still going to argue against the $15 minimum wage, even if he agrees to budget reconciliation? I just couldn't tell that. I mean, can you elucidate me on that at all?
It reminds me of that famous quote from former Senator John Kerry, I was for it before I was against it. And I think he was talking about the Iraq War at the time back in 2004 when he said I was for it before I was against it. Look, I think you're going to see not only Senator Manchin, but a lot of other people pick apart this bill and say, I'm for this part of it, but not that part of it. I'll go for the $15 minimum wage, but I don't want to give another $2,000 stimulus check. You're going to have a lot of back and forth on this. And, of course, if they do it by reconciliation, they can do it with 51 votes. Yes, instead of having a filibuster that would, potentially block it and require 60 votes. I think the more interesting thing that I heard this week was when Governor Justice came out and said, hey, I'm all for it. Spend the bigger amount, the 1.9 trillion that the Democrats want. I prefer over the 600 million the Republicans. So that was really a shocker too. And I think we're going to see a lot of that as people go forth. There's going to be a lot of details in this and a lot of compromise. The one thing I will say about Senator Manchin is obviously he was one of the group of 6 or 7 senators that forged the last deal and put it together and made it acceptable so that it can be passed and signed by President Trump. I would imagine he'll be in a group like that again where he'll be in there trying to make deals and keep things in and keep things out. So he's kind of a moving target on this and certainly one to watch nationally.
Yeah. Absolutely. And for our listeners, he'll be on with Hoppy coming up after the 10 o'clock news today. And I'm hoping Hoppy will maybe get a little extra info onto that too.
Yeah, Hoppy does a lot of deep probing with Senator Manchin. Hoppy is relentless in his questioning, and nobody does it better than him. So we'll get some clarity, I hope.
Well, let's be clear. Hoppy's a guy who lays in his bed at night and reads the Constitution. I mean, that's the kind of guy. That's the kind of guy Hoppy is. Hey, Mark, I appreciate your time. We will tune in tonight, 7 o'clock, WTRF TV, or streaming on their website and all the Nexstar media stations, wherever in the state you may be. Governor Justice and his team will be there, and hopefully we will learn some things. I'm sure that you'll make an effort to make sure that we do. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you, Howard. Talk soon.
All right, thanks a lot. Mark Curtis from the Nexstar Media Company, parent company of WTRF TV. Town hall meeting tonight at 7. Well, my friends, that's it. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Say sayonara, see ya, bye-bye, farewell. But good Lord willing, creeks don't rise. And Teddy says I can go back to work tomorrow, Granddad. I shall return tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Until then, the Watchdogs are coming up next. Hoppy is in at 10. And Biffy, I'll see you at 7. You back with me tomorrow?
I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7.
We'll keep on doing it till we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Indeed. The
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
By the NFL today.
All right, Biffy. Made it through. Yep. I will, I think I'll be in this morning at 10, so I'll probably see you. If not, I'll talk to you in the morning. And if you need anything, as always, you know where to reach me. Yep. All right. I appreciate your help. Good show today. Thanks a lot. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
For a bold tradition this weekend, sitting down with 60 Minutes during the pregame show.
Mr. Biden is a big sports fan. He was in Minneapolis in 2018 with his wife Jill to watch their beloved Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl. The Bidens were even on the field for the postgame celebration with the players.
ABC's Karen Travers in Washington. The president's top health advisor on COVID, Dr. Anthony Fauci, warning against Super Bowl parties with people you don't live with. He tells ABC News